Listen, I totally get it. I understand. I know that it's supposed to be the big hits that are making this shoe and this pack a really big deal, and it's going to be massive, huge. I think it's coming straight after those Hawaii highs, which are super huge. I think these guys are going to be massive as well. But for me, it isn't the big things. It's two really little things that honestly most people are just going to overlook that aren't important to anybody else out there. But for me, it's these two little hits that make the shoe. And that's what I'm going to bring to you guys today, is to talk about what it is on this shoe that is just absolutely beautiful, absolutely on point, but kind of being missed because it's just not the big thing on the shoe. But then on top of that, there's a ton of stuff to talk about in terms of the colorway, in terms of the drop date, and when it's supposed to drop, where it's supposed to drop, and what's actually going to happen with the drop date. And then, of course, the construction of the shoe and everything that puts it together to be one of the greatest shoes. And also, where's the black one gone? So there's a ton to get into as we take a look today at the upcoming release of the Nike Dunk Low Animal Pack Giraffe. This is the Tokyo About It 23 Secret channel. Tokyo About It 23 Secret channel is. My name is Chapter Day, my name is Media Design. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today in the spotlight is an upcoming release on, it's April 29th, maybe, and it's in Europe, possibly. So first things first, we'll get into that drop date part of things, and then we'll get into some of the other stuff in the shoe, like where is the black one, and what it is about those two small things that makes this shoe for me instead of the big thing. So first things first, the drop date. What we've got so far is April the 29th in Europe, but neither of those things are fixed. So what? But that's what the numbers are coming up with. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're true, because the official images are out there now, and that's when everything starts rolling. It's like a couple of weeks beforehand, official images come out, and then the shoes go, drop when they're planned to. So right now, what they're talking about is April the 29th. And I'm shooting this video, I think, on April the 22nd, and it'll probably go up onto YouTube on April the 24th or 25th. So we're quite close to that drop date, which I don't usually like to do. I usually don't like to have my drop dates and my videos that close together. I want to be like 2 weeks or 10 days before the drop date, not less than a week. But that's just the way it's been with this shoe, because I've been waiting, as you have out there. And there's the lemon drop as well that's coming, and those Hawaii highs, which are tomorrow morning. I'm shooting this on the 22nd in the evening. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be banging away on my smartphone exactly at 9 o'clock trying to get those highs, because they are a stunning shoe. They're really an amazing shoe. I can't wait to get into those. But yeah, for these guys, it's so close to the drop date. I don't like to be in this position, but the official images have finally come along, and they're saying April the 29th in Europe, which is kind of odd. Now, on the sneakers app here, we do have the Hawaiis. Tomorrow, for example, the Jordan 4, is it University Blues? I think they may be called, the light blue ones. They're already up there, and there's a bunch of other shoes that aren't too far away that are up there, but there's nothing on April the 29th on the sneakers app here in Japan. So maybe it will be Europe-centric. Who knows? Maybe Europe can get them in hand, quicker than anywhere else because of land travel. Whereas if you want to get to the States, you have to travel by air or by sea, and in the coronavirus days, maybe that's not happening as quickly as they used to. So it might be that it happens on April the 29th and in Europe only. That's what we've, at the moment, what they're saying. And we'll see if that's a wider release and pops up elsewhere. But like I say, the lemon drop as well. It's a beautiful shoe, and can't wait for that. And then the Hawaiis tomorrow is another great dunk. So big news at the dunk line, but it's been like that, you know what? For like 2 years, the dunk line, solid, non-stop class. Every single week, it feels like a beautiful dunk's coming out, and these guys are right up there. So that's that bit. Then there's the bit about the black ones. Now, I put up a bad picture of the black ones because what we had for a long time was really poor images of the shoes, mashups, mock-ups, people's perceptions, and then stuff with watermarks over it. And this is what one of those will be. It'll be one of those poorly designed watermarked pictures of the black ones, because they kind of seem to have disappeared. We were expecting a pack, but at the moment we only see this one shoe coming down the line on April the 29th, and the black ones seem to have gone. Now, have they gone in a sort of, there'll be a surprise drop? Have they gone in a, we'll drop them later to complete the pack? Or have they gone in a, it's going to be a friends and family and you ain't getting your hands on them? So I don't know which one it's going to be, but it'll be interesting to keep your eyes out for that. The black ones are very cool as well. They might just be a mashup that people were kind of working on because the official images weren't out there, and this might be the only shoe, but we'll have to keep an eye over the next couple of weeks to see where that goes and whether this is a pack or not. So, and with that being said, let's get into the actual shoe itself. Now, I said there's two things on it that really attract me, and they're not the big things. Now, the big things, of course, are the animal print. It's called the animal print, so Go figure. And we'll get to that animal print, the construction of it, the materials and stuff in a minute, but I want to go for those things that bring me into the shoe. Not that brings the world in or the hype in or anybody else that's, checking it out and they're like, oh, animal print all over that. For me, the two really big points is and this is weird, the lining. I know. And the reason I really like the lining is because it's dark brown and it fits the rest of the shoe. It would have been so easy for them to put a black lining on this guy and then just sort of, nobody would really have cared. Nobody would really have noticed, but they took the extra time to go with that deep brown, which super matches the rest of the shoe, especially the swoosh and the outsole. And I totally appreciate that. It takes the shoe up a little level. It's a little bit of extra effort that takes a shoe from being awesome to absolutely legendary. So I appreciate the lining being dark brown, and equally speaking of dark brown, I appreciate the branding panel on the back. Yes, for the dark brownness of it, but mostly for the leather of it and the quality of the materials that are getting into that, used to make that branding panel on the back, and by default then also the swoosh on the side. So hopefully somehow the old green screen's working out for me to show you the quality of the leathers and the colours that go into that branding panel on the back. And then on top of that, it's great. We're looking at a Dunk Low, not an SB Dunk Low or an SB Dunk Low Pro. And one of the places to get to know that is on the heel, where you don't have an odd lopsided bit of branding in here. So hopefully I'll put up a picture of some SB Dunk Lows or SB Dunk Low Pros heels to see that lopsided Nike with the E that doesn't quite fit. And then back to today's heel, you can see the Nikes fit really neatly just about into that branding panel on the back. So that means it's a Nike Dunk Low. And speaking of that, another little trick that I want to teach people out there, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but I have a little bit of trouble. Maybe it's just my idiocy and my stupidity, but I have a little bit of trouble like telling shoes apart at a glance. And one of the things with this shoe, and we'll bring up the lateral side first, is I was looking at the pictures of it and I saw this picture of the medial side and I thought, that's not really the medial side, that's just the lateral side flipped around. They're pulling the wool over our eyes. And I really looked and looked and looked and I was trying to find out, am I right? Is this a lateral side just in reverse, or is it actually the medial side? And it turned out I found a great spot to do this, and if you already know this, I apologize for wasting your time, and if you're like, duh, everybody knows that. But what we're talking about is on the outsole, just at the quarter line, you can see that on the lateral side, I think it's the lateral side that has more grooves in it, and then those grooves match the outsole, which we'll get to next. And then on the medial side, you can see the grooves have been like paired right down to just one, I think. And then if we do flip over to the outsole and have a look at that, you can see how that construction goes from many lines and feeds into just sort of one line narrower, and that's represented on the wraparound that goes up onto the midsole, and that's how you can quickly tell the medial side from the lateral side and the Dunk Low. That's just me. There might be other ways. You guys might be able to tell me in the comments down below. By the way, if you look at this detail here, that's a quick way to tell the difference between the lateral side and the medial side. And speaking of that, back to that outsole that we're on, just to mark the point that it's in that deep brown colorway that matches the rest of the sneaker, because I think that's totally for me, the fact that they've got that lined up perfectly, the colors on this shoe, is what totally makes the shoe. And speaking of that, we might as well go up high and have a look at the main feature, which is that animal print. Not only is it animal print, but it's kind of roughed up suede animal print, and it's absolutely high quality to go with the high quality of the branding panel and the swoosh in those deep leathers, deep brown leathers. You've got the line that runs all the way from the ankle up through the lacing system, down the quarter line and around the toe, all done in that roughed up suede, all done in that giraffe animal print, and it's all done in absolute bliss. This guy is on fire, so it's a beautiful shoe. And then between all of that, you've got a kind of tan or off-white, or yesterday I did the Kyrie 7 pale ivory. Great shoe. And then if we bring that ivory colorway into this shoe and talk about those panels being ivory, that's an option on there. And then up to the tongues for the final kind of couple of places to look is the tongues and the insoles, which match each other. The tongues themselves are in that tan, beige, brown, off-white, ivory, whatever you want to call that color, but the branding panel is much lighter, almost white, and then on that brown, simple Nike swoosh branding up there to go with this being a Nike Dunk Low, and then back into the insole, you can see the coloring on the insole matches that of the branding on the tongues, very, very simple, but very, very beautiful, and very, very, very in line with the colorway of the shoe. Absolutely 100 points, 100%, perfect score, perfect shoe, nailed it. The Lemon Drop is a beautiful shoe. This is a beautiful shoe. The Hawaiis are a beautiful shoe. The Dunks are pulling it out, and they're absolutely scoring home runs every single swing of the bat. It's quite incredible. And that's the video for today, just wrapping it up. So hopefully you guys got something out of that and could appreciate the shoe in some way. Maybe the little hits I showed you that really speak to me, speak to you now, and you weren't really focused on them, you were more focused on that animal print. Definitely though, let me know if you get yourself your hands a pair of these. I'm going to try, but I don't have any faith that I'll get myself these guys. So great to be bringing you that daily content and doing this for you guys. Hopefully you appreciate it. I'm enjoying it. Keeping on going. We're pushing up towards 900 consecutive days on YouTube without a single day missed. And the videos just keep on coming. With that being said, because I do this every single day, I get to say this at the end of every single video, that doing this every single day means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.